So now we're going to do a review of YouTube and the error that is taking place. I'm just going to be quick. Submit report. Now the first report I submitted, it went through. Let's try a movie. Something went wrong. Feedback not submitted. We weren't able to submit your report. You can let us know what happened by going to youtube.com/tv/feedback. I did that, but it didn't work either. So what we're going to do is go back. Now we're going to click on Terigel. Again, something went wrong. An error occurred. Please try again later. Playback ID. Now, we're going to count your days. Government shutdown, fallout, workers fired, families losing. Let's see. Democrats, Trump says federal layoffs will be Democrat orientated. Now, yesterday I posted something that I got from health.com or something like that, talking about Obamacare. Again, it does not play. RIP to my dad who passed away October 10th, 2025. So something seems to be going on with YouTube. Earlier today, I saw someone talking about filing a class action lawsuit because interference, stuff like that. And the person was saying that it was intentional. So, sometimes you have to wonder what's going on. Let's go here. Same thing. Let's check it out. And now here's a buy one, get one large pizza deal from Little Caesars. I'm going to skip that and see what's going on because the commercial plays fine. Submit report. So I guess there is something going on with YouTube that needs to be addressed, right? A few minutes ago, Terry Joe was literally the only video that would play. This plays fine. Now let's continue on. Let's try another movie. So now, coincidentally, I find this to be a bit funny. Let's click on blood types. Oh, no, not gonna work. So, is it something selective? Well, how is it that only certain things will play? Let's check. Pardon the shaking. I have nerves. They do that a lot. This plays. What movie is this? Scream. Coincidence? You know what I say about coincidences? That's God trying to let you know something ain't right. Let's check this out. Oh, pause. Oh, pause. Now let's go down. Let's go to Tales from the Crypt. Now, sometimes people, when they know that you're spiritual, people will choose to play games. I'm not saying that that's what's going on here, but it popped up in my mind just now that, people like to play games with spirits and with the Most High. Because, you know, a lot of people claim that they believe in a higher power, but their actions say otherwise, you know? It speaks volumes, you know, and it makes you wonder, who do these people walk with spiritually? Because everything isn't a coincidence, you know. Some things are intentional, especially when it's out of your control, you know. A thought came to my mind the other day that there are two types that can be considered the unseen. The higher power, the spirit realm, where they can see what you're doing and hear what you're doing. And then you have the earthly matters, where those behind the scenes can hear what you're doing, but may not necessarily be able to see what you're doing if you don't have a webcam. So we're just gonna, you know, review the certain things that are playing and what's not playing. Let's go here. Scream, again. The movie and the game. Something tells me somebody wants me to scream. So let's go here.
Hey, boys.
Okay. So let's go down now. Let's check out one of these.
From battling type 2 diabetes.
Okay, that works. You know, sometimes people will try to use emotional situations when, you know, say that you have had the loss of someone in your family passed away, transferred to the next realm. And, you know, there is, sometimes people don't know how to process that, I don't know how you call it, the sadness, you know. And if they don't know how to process it correctly, they will lash out and just go off the meat racks with it, you know. And I also think about what I said earlier, you know, because I did mention about people in a particular community, you know, and I only said this because from my observation over the years, that it seems to be true, you know, because they say ain't nothing like a woman scorned. So we can apply that logic to people who are upset about things that don't go their way. I have learned to pick and choose my battles, right? And I've also learned serenity, you know, and I've also learned that there are times when you need to speak up and speak out about things that matter, you know. And I've also learned that when people don't want you to be a truth speaker, things like this will happen as well, you know, because, you know, things happen all the time, and sometimes they happen because people make them happen. So, look, that smells good. We'll continue on. Oh. So maybe now things are back to normal. I don't know, but we will see. And, you know, once again, there is no limit to the review, the life review as well. Sometimes it's about sending a message, truth be told. You know, people like to send messages. People like to get a rise out of you, you know. Some people like to interfere with things. You never know what's going on in the world today. It's not always paranormal activity. And I noticed that when you are a spiritual individual and when people want to test your faith, or, you know, they want to play around, they'll do things to, you know, try to make you think that there's paranormal activity taking place, and then you act crazy, and the next thing you know, you're unknowingly proving points and things that they have said about you. And sometimes reactive abuse is a thing. But again, my question is, when people do stuff like that, not saying that that's what's happening here, but it came to mind. When people do things like that, do they really believe in the Most High, or do they believe that they are the Most High? You know? When a person passes away over into the next realm, they become a god. They are the gods among men and women. The Most High is the Most High, but spirits are gods among men and women, because we cannot see them unless they want to be seen. We will not know they're there unless they want us to know that they are there. And one thing I noticed, that messing with your TV is not something that they would do. Maybe the lights, you know? But people who don't believe have to be made believers. And it's not for me to make anyone a believer. That is what spirit is for. So now we're going to go back up. And then what we're going to do is go out. That is me, Iset Kali Ma'at. One of my names, yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to exit YouTube, and then we're going to come back into YouTube. Just for good measure. Shout out to Sharp Roku, Home, Roku Sports, Disney, Tubi. Shout out to everybody. But back to here. Now, I understand that the truth hurts. It hurts all of us to come to realizations of how people are and, you know, what they do, what they're capable of, you know. Nobody's safe and no one is innocent. We've all committed some type of sin, you know. But it's those people who want to act like they're sinless. Those are the ones that you have to look at. People who like to expose people out of revenge and malice, you know. They're not exposing anything relevant or anything that the world should know. They don't know. They're just trying to ruin someone's reputation. And that's what makes it malice. That's what makes it a sin. So to those people, I say, what you want for others will be for you. Because that's just the law of the land, the unspoken rules of karma. The golden rule. Do unto others what you would want done to you. You know? No one is innocent. Let's keep that in mind when we walk around acting like we're all self-righteous and we can do no wrong, and when we want to play victim and take advantage of people and situations and hold the world hostage until we can get what we want. What you put out will come back tenfold. This is the law. You know? It's akin to when a person commits a crime against another, and if that person decides to forgive and not press charges, the law takes it upon itself to bring those people to justice, because it could be many reasons why a person will decide to turn the other cheek. It could be out of fear. But lessons have to be learned, and sometimes examples have to be made to deter that behavior. But in the world and society we live today, people like to learn the hard way. And some people feel like they're untouchable. Everybody can be touched. I can be touched. You can be touched. Anyone can be touched. Spirit will reach out and touch you in the most profound way.